Welcome back all. Today I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to actually uncompress things and how to restore your backed up files. Before I do so, I owe you an explanation from the last tutorial that I got entangled with. Well, here it is. Basically, the quotation marks were a problem because then the exclamation mark, I knew that it was interpreting it as some sort of a command or something of a kind, like not, because it generally represents not, and that's why it said like it does not recognize the command or something. That's why I got that error. You see, if I go ahead and type in quotation marks, there you go, bash event not found because of the exclamation mark. And if I go ahead and remove the remove the quotation marks like this and press enter, you see I'm going to append the file to the last line. And if I type in the escape character here, and if I press enter, still I am going to get exactly the same thing without any problems of whatsoever. I can keep on doing this till the end, till I run out of disk space, but I wouldn't want to bore you to death. So let's go ahead and jump into the subject at hand. Today, as I said, we're going to be dealing with unpacking the files that we've actually backed up. But let me just see. Besides echo, I'm sure I have it here somewhere, so I don't have to type the whole command in again. There we go. These are the two commands that I want to use, and you see I have used the commands that we've learned previously in order to provide myself with such an output. I'm sure you're familiar with them by now. The line that we should be paying attention at is this last line. I've left the first line deliberately so that we can do a bit of comparison. This command we will use to actually extract and unpack everything from this file into something else, while we use this command. Oops. Oh, it's running away. The terminal lines are running away. While we use this command in order to package the contents of this file into this file. Anyway, here down below you have X, which stands for pull it out of tar, V for verbose, P preserve permissions as before, Z treat it as a gzip. Up to here as well, except up here it will compress it, and down here it will uncompress it. F for file, and then we pass in the file name, and right next to the file name we're gonna add another argument, which will be minus sign capital C, and then a path to where we actually want to extract these things. Now for myself, I have created a folder, it's called sheep. So I have a folder called sheep right here. I could have named this folder anything I wanted to. Originally I named it recovery or something of a kind, but then the name didn't really resonate, it didn't feel right. So I renamed it to sheep. Anyway, we are going to extract it, but before we do, suppose that you have a lot of these backup files here. Some of them you made, some of them you didn't, some of them were made by the system, some of them were made by some other person out there, and you are required to restore a backup for a certain system, but you can read the names, you can read the names of these backup files, but you're still uncertain as to what is contained within. How do you suppose you would have a look inside without actually performing the extraction itself? Well, let's consult with the man pages. That's always the #1 source of these things. And I could have shown you that straight away, but I want to show you one more thing in the man pages that you can use it in a similar fashion like VIM. You can just press semicolon and then type in commands here. For example, you can type in search. So slash, and then what shall we search for? Well, you shouldn't type in search, but this is how you would conduct a search. What shall we type for? Let's type in list. Excellent. So this is exactly what we have been looking for. The second find of list is what we need. Under examples, you have tar space dash tvf archive.tar, what does it say? What does this do? It says list all files in archive.tar verbosely. Now we can remove the verbose output here as well, but I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's go ahead and clear, type in tar space dash tv f backup, press enter, and they're going to get listed. So you're going to get the permissions here as well, but I don't know, sometimes, most of the time I would say that you don't need to see the permissions here to figure out what is in the file and the dates. It is far more useful, well, dates maybe, but it is far more useful to actually have a look at the contents of the folder, at the contents of the tarball. The reason why I say dates maybe, it's because most of the backups, when they are made, uh, the dates, the exact date, the exact time when the backup was made can usually be seen in the name of the backup straight away. That's how they are usually made. I will show you this as we progress through this chapter and as I show you the cron jobs and the automation and creating a bash script for an automated task and so on and so forth. But for the time being, just know that it is so. Let's go ahead and clear the screen and let's remove the verbose outputs because we don't want to see all of that. We just want to get a general overview of what is contained in this particular tarball. Press enter, and there you go. This is a much cleaner output. Here we can actually see the folders. Here we can see the files, and we can generally conclude what this is. Is this what we need or not? But you cannot see pretty much anything else besides the folders, files, and stuff like that. The things that you see in front of yourself. You could basically list up to the top, but the output is the same. You just have the paths here, and that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear the screen. Once again, let's call my file. Now, let's try to actually unpack some of this particular tarball. We will unpack this tarball and extract it into the folder sheep. I encourage you to make your own folder. Just type in mkdir and then name it. Yeah, name it. Basically, name the folder. Whatever you want. Whatever. Excellent. So just type in a name here and make a folder. That's it. Just press enter. It will be created. I have shown this in the previous tutorials as well. That's why I'm not dwelling on the mkdir as much now, in case you skipped a few. So type in tar space minus xv pzf space backup space dash c, capital C, and we're gonna put it into sheep. Press enter. There we go. It's doing it. It's doing it. It's done. Let's go into sheep ls. There you go. We have a home directory. Let's go into home. Let's do ls. There we go. We have random guy. Let's go into random guy. ls. There you go. We have all of these files preserved. This entire structure remains as it is. It is all there. Nothing has been left out. Even if I do ls-a, you will see that all of these other things have been preserved as well. So they are all there. They have all been saved. This is a full backup of that particular folder, of those particular files. Anyway, I hope that it is clear. In case it is not, the discussions are always open to you. I do check them. I do look at them. And I do try to answer all of your questions with as much clarity as I can. So feel free to ask if you do not understand something or if you fail to understand something. No shame there. Just ask away and I'll be more than happy to help you all out as much as I can. Now, I bid you all farewell and until next time.